Shalom, brothers and sisters. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the incomprehensible Father, the Son, through the Holy Spirit. All right, and honest to you who out there living in sincerity and in truth. This is exposing the frequency and rhythm of death. See, in your journey in this truth, especially you all who have kept your integrity, still pushing, still learning throughout this walk, you're oftentimes going to run into death in the middle of it. This is the one that likes to hide dormant. It hides behind the other sins. Most people have heard of the seven deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, sloth, wrath. You know, all right. And we all know that one of the biggest things he uses to fuel that is money, the love of money. You know, that all leads back to his mark, where he makes your survival uh, very expensive. He makes your life very hard to live. And he says, hey, if you compromise yourself more and give all your energy and your time into this system, you will be rewarded. You know, see, but death, that's the mark. Now, death itself is it's a more subtle, it's a more evil, deceitful frequency and rhythm. See, we all know that when we come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. And when you do serve the Lord, you're going to be persecuted for it, and you're going to lose for it. That's where death comes in, when you resist that. See, when you're getting your momentum in the faith, when you're learning to operate in truth, when you're getting closer and closer to your goal, you're going to run into more and more resistance until it gets to the point to where you overcome it. There is nothing else for death to use against you. And how does he do it? Whatever makes you comfortable, whatever your desires are, whatever you have going on, whether that's jobs, money, it doesn't matter if you have a lot or a little bit. It gets ripped from you in the middle of wrongdoing, injustice, and all of that. Ruthlessly ripped from you. You take a huge loss. In the middle of the huge loss, you're going to end up, if you fight against it, you may lose even harder. You may not get any closure. They go for relationships, anything. And then the thought comes. You're angry. You're thinking to yourself, and you're down low, and now you're hearing voices. You're hearing thoughts. Man, what's the point of all this? Why am I just down here to suffer? Oh, I'm better off dying, or whatever the case may be. That's death. Don't let him talk to you like that. Don't let him talk to you like that. See, he wants you to die. He wants you to curse God and die. Remember, that's Job. And that was death right there. Speaking through Job's wife. Just curse God and die. Because they had suffered through so much. They lost so much. All right. While they were praising the Lord, it's like, I'm getting rewarded nothing but evil for all the good that I've done. I am not getting any good in return. So, most people, when this happens, what they do is they compromise themselves. They turn bitter, or they stop what they're doing to hurry up and try to recover everything that they lost. They do whatever it takes to get back in a state of a comfortable stagnation. And death uses that against them. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. All right. And that's clear right there. It's not telling you to chop your hand off. That's not the one that's doing evil. All right. It's things that's within you is going to require discipline. Now, nothing's wrong with being happy. Nothing's wrong with comforts. Nothing's wrong with these things. But brothers, remember, once you put this on, you are now in spiritual war. Remember, Ephesians chapter 6, we are not battling flesh and blood, but rulers of darkness in very high places. That's what's challenging you. And when you do feel that frequency of death, it feels like a huge weight that's on your body. A huge weight of depression, just really wanting to give up. And it talks to you. It's like thoughts in your mind. And it's like, why would you want to die anyway? You know, because think about it. All of this for nothing? As far as you came and kept your integrity, what? Curse the heavens and die now? Without seeing your reward? Oh, no. You too deep in the game now. Take that as motivation from me, you know, and all the other brothers and sisters out there who feel the same. Take that as motivation. You too deep in the game. You done came too far. You done labored too much to lay down now. Yeah, it's rough, but that's what it does. It gets your hopes up. It brings them down. But eventually, the more, and see how you're supposed to respond to that is continue going, but also take, your losses. That don't mean give up. If you could do something about it, then do it. But if you can't, you can't. It's like a situation. If you only have $100, but what you need costs $500, hey, you can't keep on putting all your energy into getting money. That's taking it away from where? The Lord. You have to remember these things. And he comes to you like that constantly. It's consistent. Then the more you begin to cut off and the more you begin to let go, that is when you notice it fades more and more and more and more. That's why in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, it tells you, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Gold is tried in the fire, and an acceptable men in the furnace. And stay faithful, that you may be increased at your last end. What does it mean, your last end? Your last end, meaning you're at your lowest point. Why? Because you've been stripped down bare. And after you have been stripped down bare, all the attachments, because that's the fire you in. The attachments, the losses, the heartbreak, the anguish, the pain, the betrayals, everything. What was left is something that was fixed and incorruptible. And after that, when that's all that's left, you've done it. That's your reward. It's finna come to you. But you have to outlast that. You have to outlast it. If you don't, it's all for nothing. But most people, they break. Most people give up. Most people are hurt. So you're up, then you're down. But after that, you end up, when you resist that, you end up finding peace in the middle of everything. Even in the middle of that, even other people gonna be looking at you. Wait, ain't they supposed to be broken? I know I would have. I couldn't handle that. Yeah, because you're growing strong in the middle of it. Your spirit is showing more. You're becoming so strong that the rest of the demons, like pride, greed, lust, envy, they ain't there anymore. You ain't got nothing to be prideful about. There is nothing to have an ego about. That's why I say, he who is faithful in little, how much more in everything? All right. This is Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was in afterward and hungry. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. All right, you see it. He's trying to tempt him with earthly desires. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. Jesus said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. See, that was pride, ego. That's what he was trying to get him to use, get him to flex. Yeah, I'm the Lord. Like the Lord needed to prove his existence to anybody. You don't have to prove your existence. None of you brothers and sisters got to prove your existence and your righteousness to none of these folks out here, man. You ain't got to prove nothing to them. In the end, the truth gonna be the truth. That's just what it is. The prophecy is gonna come to pass. Everything gonna happen. You ain't got nothing to prove to them. Verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Jesus unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. See, because at that point, he couldn't tempt him with nothing. He couldn't do nothing with him. And that's how you're gonna have to be, fixed and incorruptible in the end. Right now, you're going through the fire. That fire is stripping you down. That's why you taking those L's. Those impurities are going away. You might not understand it completely. You might just you might feel that. And let me tell you this about a purification fire. You might feel all types of feelings and emotions and hurtful things in the middle of it. You know, sighing and crying, Lord, come get me. He is dealing with you. See, that fire, that light that's in you, it disturbs the impurities in the body. All right, it puts a spotlight on them. So in your flesh body, you begin to get disturbed. You start feeling things and all types of stuff. Endure it, keep your integrity. Then you will realize you feel lighter and lighter each time. But then that's when it gets stronger. See, because and it's not an overnight thing. It happens to you in phases. The stronger you get, the stronger that fire get, and the stronger impurities come out. Because if you get hit with that strong light way too early, it can kill you. How can it do that? Because and it'll break you, because you're not ready to accept all those things. You got to realize, man, we've been conditioned from birth all the way up to where you currently are now. And it's a lot of things within you that you don't even know there. Like I say, death lies dormant. You don't really run into the death one because death operates as a system until you defeat the 7 deadly sins, until you defeat the ego, until you defeat the love of money, until you defeat comfort. When you reach that, you're going to run into it. It's because now you're going to be a person that has nothing to lose. And people who have nothing to lose, especially the elect, they don't need permission to do anything. They don't have to go through nobody for nothing but the Lord. That's it. And they know this because they went through the fire and they remained intact. So I'm hoping this is edifying about the rhythm of death. Like I say, the ups, and it definitely hits you when you're down, and the thoughts and everything. So Lord will, you were edified. Shalom.